Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. Today we are back with a Draven supplementary guide, and we're going to be taking a look at TRIFORCE Draven. So TRIFORCE has become a really popular item on ADCs after it got buffed, and by buffed I mean the price was reduced by 200 gold. So it's really popular on champions like Zeri, Lucian, which I've already covered in my previous videos, so check them out if you guys want to. And it also is really good for champions like Draven, because Draven can proc Triforce very easily. And why he can do that is because whenever he catches an axe, of course, your W resets. So you can actually, I wouldn't say spam, but you can use your W to proc Triforce a lot. And honestly, at some points you do like kind of spam your W to proc your Triforce, quite a bit. But yeah, you can definitely get easy access to Spellblade compared to a lot of other ADCs. So yeah, a lot of uptime on Spellblade for Draven. And yeah, but honestly, I don't like Triforce on Draven that much personally. I think that his normal build of just rushing crit is probably a little bit better, because Triforce doesn't give you a lot of AD, gives you only like 30 AD, doesn't give you any crit, doesn't give you any lifesteal, so I kind of don't really like it personally, but I do think it's a really good item. So first up, you're going to start off with your Gluttonous Grease for the Omnivamp as well as your AD. And then you want to go into your Bloodthirster as your first item. Gives you the huge injection of AD and physical vamp. Additional stats when you're high on health as well. And then we're going to go Triforce next. Now honestly you could go Triforce first if you want, but again I think Draven having more AD and more physical vamp is more important than going for Triforce early. So Triforce next gives you health, gives you a little bit of AD, a little bit of attack speed, not really a little bit, but quite a ton of ability haste, of course movement speed as well, which is useful for chasing people down. And then as I mentioned, your Spellblade passive. So you're going to do physical damage equal to 100% of your base AD, and again you can spam this very easily with of course Draven's W, and it does have a 1.5 second cooldown, so you not spam it that much. Then of course you go for IE, gives you a lot more AD as well as your increases your crit damage. And then it's time for your Maul Reminder, which is gonna give you the armor penetration as well as the grievous wounds. And finally, you want to top it off with a defensive item. Honestly, Draven has more than enough damage at this point, so it doesn't have to be a crit item, but if you want like 100% crit, then it's gonna be Shield Bow for the shield. But of course, as I mentioned, you can go for a lot of other options. Another crit item option is actually going to be Magnetic Blaster for the additional range. Now, you guys know I don't like Magnetic Blaster that much. However, on Draven specifically, as a last item, this can be really good, because at this point you do so much damage. Your one auto attack could be 1/3 or half health of a squishy target, so getting one Magnetic Blaster attack right to the face of a squishy target, could be all the difference. So I actually do like Magnetic Blaster here. And then you could also go for other defensive options like GA for the revive, for example, or you could go like, for example, Maw against magic damage and things like that. So for the runes, I actually think Kraken Slayer is Draven's best rune. I've been kind of debating over like Lethal Tempo, Conqueror, and Kraken Slayer for quite a long time, and honestly I think after Kraken Slayer got the buff, where you did a little bit more damage and it scales harder with AD, I actually think Kraken Slayer is actually the best for Draven. Now, I'm going to explain why. Basically, because Lethal Tempo and Conqueror are more for longer fights, and Kraken Slayer is more for shorter fights and in the early game. So, overall, in the mid to late game, Conqueror or Lethal Tempo is going to be better. But the thing about Draven is, of course, he wants a strong early game, he wants a strong laning phase. So with Conqueror in the lane, that Conqueror auto attack, which sometimes people do not take into consideration, has gotten me a lot of kills where I wouldn't get if I had like Conk or Lethal Tempo. So I actually think Kraken Slayer is the best rune for Draven, because the extra damage you get in the laning phase is going to make a huge difference and going to be able to possibly get you kills to start your snowball, which is of course the most important part when playing Draven, getting that initial kill. And yeah, so Kraken Slayer is the way to go. Of course, Brutal, because you auto attack a lot. Giant Slayer, because everyone pretty much in the game has bonus health, and you're going to do a lot more damage with this than Coup de Grace or anything like that. And Legend Alacrity for more attacks, because you don't really have attack speed in your build, but you only get it from the Triforce. So you want to get Alacrity here, whereas you do have a lot of lifesteal from here and here already, so, or rather mainly here and here, not really the Shield Bow last item, but here and here. So attack speed is useful, and of course Bone Plating, because you're fighting a lot in lane, so getting that is going to be really helpful. And then of course we go for the exhaust as well as the flash. Now you could go for ghost as well, but on Draven I prefer exhaust, because you fight a lot and you generally want to exhaust them to get less damage on you. So yeah, anyways, with all that out of the way, let's jump into talking about our gameplay. Okay, so now we're gonna hop into the gameplay. Now, with Draven, it's really quite straightforward. You basically want to play with a support who can net you kills. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be an engager, although generally it is. Like Draven with, you know, Thresh, Alistar, Leona, Nautilus, all amazing because of how much CC they have, which allows Draven to get in a few extra free hits, and those free hits normally are the ones that result in a kill. However, enchanters can work as well. So before we get into more of that, we're going to talk about this early trade. So here you can see we're focusing Blitzcrank because he's basically the one in our range, so we're just blasting him down. We're trying to blast Sivir when we can. Sivir is now being really aggressive, so we exhaust her, and we're just continuing pelting him. Remember, we have a huge exhaust advantage because Sivir has taken Ghost, which is probably a really good spell for her, but the not real problem. But the thing about that is that she's going to have a bit of problem surviving Draven's laning phase, because honestly, if I was Sivir, I would consider getting an exhaust, because if I can't survive against Draven and if I start feeding the Draven, you know, it's going to be a problem. So most of the time, Ghost is better on Sivir, but sometimes you do want to get exhaust. Anyways, we blow our exhaust, Leona heals, and Blitzcrank uses both summoner spells. So overall, on my side, we still have both flashes, and Sivir still has both spells, which means that Blitzcrank is the more vulnerable target for now. So if a fight breaks out, we actually probably want to focus Blitzcrank, because honestly, with Draven, even though it's better to kill the enemy ADC, it doesn't matter who you kill, you just want to cash in your stats. So killing the support is fine as well, you know, no problem with that. So here we're just CSing, of course, maintaining our spinning axes, and looking for an opportunity to fight. Here Blitzcrank looks like he wants to go in. I didn't catch the axe because I thought he was going to hook me, but he didn't. So sometimes you don't want to always catch your axe because it's really predictable, and Blitzcrank can get a free hook, and yeah. So as I was mentioning just now, you sometimes do want to, you know, it's not too bad to play with an enchanter, because enchanters like Janna or Nami, they do have CC, they can catch people out, and it can work out sometimes. But now we're back into the action. So Blitzcrank tries to hit a hook, doesn't really work out, and here I'm just free firing on him. Leona engages onto him. I'm pushing the Sivir away. I'm focusing the Blitzcrank to get the kill. I get the cash out, and we're now going on top of the Sivir. We're blasting her into Nyx's reach. She flashes for the Nami, pops the Ghost as well, but she does end up going down. I pick up a double, and Xin Zhao is coming in. I still have both summoner spells. I exhaust him instantly. He tries to chase me in. I flash away, just, you know, with that 1 second delay to bait him into you know, overcommitting, because he thought maybe he could trade the kill 1-for-1 and that would be worth it for him. But of course, I held my flash for 1 second and baited him to continue stepping in, and I flashed at the last moment so that he took one extra tower shot and he ended up dying. So beautiful start to the game. Couldn't really go much better. You get the cash out and then you get 2 kills on top of that. Beautiful. You can see we're now 1k gold ahead of the Sivir, and we have like a 1 Vam Scepter advantage against her. So now this is huge. You know, for us. And of course, with Draven, you want to get the snowball rolling, and here we have a double stacked wave because they couldn't really deal with the wave. Here we're once again just blasting Blitzcrank. We get the ult onto him, and he nearly dies. If he didn't have the heal there, he actually would have died. Yeah, so Blitzcrank's now out of the lane again, and you can see now the moment you get the snowball rolling, you can start to take over the game. So here I'm just blasting the tower. Leona actually goes to ward, so I get the entire plate by myself as well. And yeah, now we can basically just blast the enemy, you know, enemy duo under the tower. The only thing we need to really look out for is Xin Zhao, and as of now we can see is he's in the river at the top side, so we don't have to care about him. We have vision on their entire team except Blitzcrank, and you know, Blitzcrank isn't too big of a threat to us unless he hooks us under tower, which he does not because he misses. But yeah, so we don't really have to worry too much about the other members because they're not even anywhere close, so we can play super duper aggressive. With Draven, now that you're fed, the real challenge here is to balance your aggression with your safety. You want to play as aggressive as possible and make the lives of the enemy bot lane as difficult as possible. However, what you don't want to do is you don't want to overextend when you don't have vision of the jungler or you don't know where he is, and they're going to give away a huge shutdown to someone, and that's not what we want. Here Leona tries to go in. I get the ult onto the Blitzcrank. I'm trying to run for it to again DPS the Blitzcrank. His shield pops. And here I'm just trying to focus wherever I can. I get a few hits onto Sivir, and Sivir lives on like 1 HP as well. And Blitzcrank hook is coming back up soon, so we don't want to overcommit here. And now Blitzcrank can hook us under the tower, and that would not be very good. So we are going to just, you know, play safe and recall. Again, you want to balance your aggression, you know, with some level of safety as well. One of the most common mistakes Draven make is Draven players make is just going ham, and a lot of times it can work out. Of course, that's very coin flip. It can work out, but on the other hand, what could happen is you overcommit and you end up dying instead, and you lose your stacks, which is very suboptimal, as we all know. So now we're just going to simply just clear out the minion wave. The dragon is spawning. We're going to rotate over to the dragon where a fight is clearly going to happen. We're focusing Xin Zhao. He pops the ult though, so we're going to have to actually walk into his ult if we want to focus him, which we are not going to do at the moment. Blitzcrank is really low. He goes down, and I'm now chasing Sivir. You know, she can't run because I exhausted her, and the movement speed is enough. I get both parts of the ult onto Syndra, but I have to flash forward to finish off the kill onto her. But 2 more kills in my pocket. You know, Snowball is really going now. And Dragon is still up. My team is reviving. However, I'm like half HP. So what I really want to do here is I really want to reset, because not only am I like low on resources, but I also have obviously Bloodthirster, you know, in the pocket. So I'm actually going to reset, because again, I was going to reset, but I see the plate is just 1 hit away. So I don't want to lose the plate to minions. So I'm going to reset after getting the plate, which is really greedy. But here we're going to reset, and we're going to pick up our Bloodthirster and a Sheen as well as a longsword. Now here Vi goes in for the contest, and a huge fight breaks out at the Dragon area. It's the 2v4 with the Vi and Leona going in, and they do end up, or rather Vi ends up dying, which honestly I think that at this point, since I was on the reset, we shouldn't really contest the dragon, and it's only Ocean Dragon, not too big of a deal. We should probably have given the dragon, and honestly the way better play was actually to commit to the Herald, because enemy team decides to go for the worst objective, the dragon, so going for Herald for us would have been really good. Now we can see all 5 members of the enemy team on Herald, which means that we can free fire onto this tower, like what we're doing here. So this is a free first tower for us. There's no one that can possibly stop us. Everyone else is on the opposite side of the map, and honestly, even if we give Herald, just me getting this tower is already going to be a worth it trade, because with Herald, what you're supposed to get is like basically, I think like 4 tower plates plus first tower, but I've already gotten all the tower plates plus first tower, so Herald is really diminished in terms of power now. They are still going to get the tower plates though, which is still going to be really good for them. Here I launched my ult straight down mid. I actually managed to chunk half of Syndra's health just from the 2 parts of the ult alone, which is a ton of damage, obviously, because we're super duper fed, 5-0 and 1 now, already halfway through to completing our Triforce, and yeah, so our team's doing pretty alright as well. Zyra 3-0, she's doing pretty hot. Vi not so much, but Teemo's doing alright in general. Now here my team decides to go for a catch onto Blitzcrank, and honestly I wasn't too interested at the beginning, but you know, so much CC is layered down, it's a free kill, why not? Now we're gonna go ahead and focus mid tower, and of course with the Sheen, you're gonna be able to get mid tower a lot more quickly, because you can prop your Spellblade very consistently onto the tower and just get, you know, the tower down really quickly. So now 2 quick towers secured by my team. My mid tower also survives the Herald charge, and now we complete our Triforce. So obviously huge item power spike for us, but honestly in this game it's a very high threat comp. Like you could get hooked by Blitzcrank, you're dead. Xin Zhao jumps in on you and CC's you, you're dead. 1 combo from Syndra, you're dead. Cannon gets a good ult on you, you're dead as well. So even though we're super duper fed as Draven, this is a really scary game to play, because the enemy team just has so many threats on your life, and you have to remember that even though Draven does so much damage, he's still a very immobile carry. He has no dashes whatsoever, and it's really easy to just get on top of him and just kill him. His only real safety tools are of course if you get a stasis and basically your flash and your exhaust, your summon spells. Of course you could argue that another safety tool he has is the fact that he, you know, his pure damage and lifesteal. The fact he does so much damage and he's able to lifesteal so much is also kind of a safety tool, because if they jump on you and you just damage them and lifesteal them, that's kind of, you know, it's going to do a lot of damage, right? And it's going to heal you by a lot as well. So here, just clearing out the minion wave. And now we're just going to rotate over to the mid lane. And on the way, we're going to grab ourselves the red buff. A fight kind of breaks out between Leona and Syndra, so I'm rotating back over to see if, you know, I can really help out, but turns out not really. So the next wave is here. I'm just going to quickly clear out this next wave, and then we're probably going to rotate mid and see if we can make a play. Very aggressive, a lot of fighting in this game, which honestly normally is not what I like, but in this game, because I'm a fed Draven, I actually do like that, because the more fights that happen, the more chances I have to DPS and kill more people, and that's obviously amazing when you're a snowballing Draven who wants to snowball even harder. So here I'm just gonna basically annihilate the wave, and yeah, Zyra's recalling here, so I'm just gonna stay in the mid lane and continue farming, and maybe, you know, someone gets baited into a fight, and hopefully you know, we can get more kills or something like that. You can see Kennen actually in the top lane, and they're trying to punish Teemo for him pushing, but in the meanwhile I'm just pushing as well. Nothing much is really happening, so I'm just gonna reset and get some items. Mainly the BF sword. Of course, BF sword 40 AD is a huge injection of AD. I mean, the BF sword itself already has more AD than the entire Triforce, and nearly as much AD as the Bloodthirster. So huge huge spike in terms of just getting that one BF sword. So here Dragon is spawning in 20 seconds. My team is all just grouping around mid. And here I sort of trying to set a trap for the enemy team. Enemy team is all on the top side for some reason. I guess they're not interested in the Dragon. But yeah, we can see most of them, and we're trying to hope that someone just steps up here. It turns out to be Blitzcrank, not the most valuable target, but still, you know, better than nothing. We force him to flash. I'm popping the ulti to try to finish him off, but we don't quite do enough damage for that. He still takes a huge chunk though, so he's gonna be a lot weaker in this Dragon fight, or he has to maybe recall. Just attacking the fruit to maintain my spinning axis. Now we're gonna start DPSing the Dragon. Xin Zhao tries to jump in. I'm gonna actually run in to finish him off and cash in, but oh, the cannon just comes in with a huge slicing maelstrom, kills me and Vi instantly, and Leona goes down shortly after. Only Zyra and Teemo are left alive. Teemo isn't even in the fight, and Zyra does end up going down. So once again, this is pretty horrible because, again, trading a Dragon and 2 kills for 4 kills, in my opinion, is bad. This is pretty much the same situation as my previous video on Jinx, but on the Jinx video, I got the 4 kills and they got the 2 kills plus Dragon. But in this game, they got the 4 kills, whereas we got Dragon and 2 kills, and I would take the 4 kills over the 2 kills plus Dragon all of the time. I don't think Dragon is worth 2 kills. Yeah, so I mean, we did deny the Dragon Soul, but again, Dragon Soul is not that powerful, especially Ocean Soul is not that great. So yeah, overall I think we kind of lost out on that trade, and we also ended up giving shutdown to Kennen, who is their most fed member. Actually, Xin Zhao is more fed than him, but you know, Kennen's really fed as well. So, and Kennen is a lot bigger of a threat to us than Xin Zhao personally, because Xin Zhao, you know, he doesn't have lethality, and he probably can't burst us, whereas Kennen can pretty much just one-shot us before we have a chance to really do anything. Leona picks up the shutdown on the Kennen. I try to throw my ulti there to see if I can make anything happen. I clear out mid lane, but fight is still ongoing, so I'm coming in with double spinning axes. I see an opportunity to flash behind, focus down the Sivir. She's dead instantly. Blitzcrank's left high and dry, and he's gonna be the next target. He goes down. And yeah, honestly, yeah, we do so much damage now. We have 3 items. We have IE completed, and yeah, we are like a walking turret, just going around, just smashing people's face in. And yeah, now 8-1. We're gonna go for this tower because you know, obviously Draven takes tower really quickly. You can see one auto attack is like 600 damage to the tower, and we easily finish the tower. And we can now, you know, hit on back and reset. So here I'm realizing Kennen is a huge problem, and so is Syndra if she full combos me, honestly, because she has like the full damage like Ludens into Infinity Orb. So I'm going to go for the stasis a little bit earlier than what I normally do, just because we need that stasis to survive. And here we're gonna go ahead and grab the red buff. Would be nice if Vi actually came here so we could share it, but you know, she's going to the blue buff instead, so I'm just gonna grab the red buff for myself. And here the enemy teams are hovering around the Baron area, so we want to quickly make our way there, you know, to try to make sure no funny business comes about. And we grab the blue buff, you know, because Draven with blue buff can spam his W, which is pretty amazing as well. And we clear out the minion wave, and a fight starts to break out. So we're launching a ulti into the choke point to get some damage down, and then we're just opening up with our spinning axis. We were going to finish off Blitzcrank, but Xin Zhao comes in the backline, so we're going to finish him off instead. Blitzcrank does go down to Teemo, and the only person left aside from Kennen is going to be Sivir. Again, we're attacking Baron just to maintain our spinning axis, not actually because we want to do Baron. So now we're going to just clear out the mid wave. Honestly, we could have considered doing Baron because, you know, with Zyra, Leona, and all, it's pretty fast. So here Kennen tries to actually go for the one-shot. I exhaust him, and I'm actually able to trade the kill onto him before I end up going down to the Sivir, who is now in no man's land, and she's just dead. Yeah, she does go down. And now Zyra and Leona are trying to do a 2-man Baron, but Zyra's plants, the health of her plants has gotten nerfed too much, and they can't tank the Baron anymore. Like, they die to one shot of the Baron, so I guess we can't do Baron because Zyra, the plants, yeah, they can't tank the Baron. They just die instantly. So, yeah, we have to peel off the Baron. Leona goes in for the stun onto Syndra. No follow-up from the team, though, and Syndra is able to finish off the Leona eventually. And here, Syndra does end up surviving, and Teemo goes down as well. So it looks like the enemy team might now be looking for a Baron because they've killed multiple members of my team. However, me and Vi are still up together with the Zyras coming over as well. I'm making my way out of the base, and Vi is going in onto the Blitzcrank, and she's having trouble dealing the Blitzcrank. She does get the kill onto him, but she does die for it. Now here's Xin Zhao and Syndra are both here. Kennen comes in with the ulti, but I have the stasis. However, I try to flash the wall to survive, but too much damage coming in from the Syndra together with the Xin Zhao. I nearly get the kill, and Zyra does manage to finish off the kill using the Liandry. So we did manage to trade the kill onto Xin Zhao, thankfully, which prevents them from going straight up for Baron, or Dragon for that matter. Huge waves are stacking up toward my team because the wave state has been slow pushing towards my turret. So we're gonna have to clear out the minion waves before we do anything really. The enemy team is going for the dragon, but honestly at this point we just shouldn't contest the dragon. Like, Teemo and Leona have no chance of getting the dragon here without the Vi, and the enemy team pulled up the dragon as well, so there's really no reason to go for dragon here. They should just go for the waves and stuff. Teemo nearly gets one shot, Leona jumps in, flashes back out, and achieves absolutely nothing. And yeah, so it's pretty much a waste of time. The better use of time would have just been to clear the waves and secure the goal and secure the push as well. Give them the dragon, and we're gonna have all our lanes pushed out. So Baron is gonna be the next fight, you know, if they decide to go for Baron. And now because the waves weren't pushed out just now because they were contesting dragon, I actually have to maybe push out the waves. I was considering it, but I decided not to show up on Vision because that might be the goal signal for the enemy team to either start a fight or to start Baron. So instead we stay in the fog of war and we're rotating over to join our team. Of course now they can't see us, but we are in mid lane, very easy to rotate to wherever the fight is. So we're just going to clear out the mid lane, and then we're going to try to join our team. So our team is super duper split up. Like, me, Zyra, and Leona are together, but Vi is counter jungling and Teemo is really overextended the top lane. The enemy team sees this, and the enemy team is actually going for a collapse play onto them. So here, we're trying to back them up, but at the same time we don't want the enemy team to turn on us. So speaking of which, the Blitzcrank and the Xin randomly appear, and you know, I said Draven has no safety tools, but I guess the safety tool is damage. Like, we did so much damage there that we were able to heal up enough and we actually survived. But now the issue is we can't continue fighting because we don't have health. So here I'm actually coming to lifesteal off of the Raptors. So you can see that with the Bloodthirster and with the Gluttonous Greaves, lifesteal that you get is pretty insane. So we're gonna lifesteal off of those, and now we're back to pretty much full health. So now we can slowly make our way back into the fight. Xin Zhao is deep in the back line fighting the Vi, and he does end up going down to the Vi, I believe. Not before dying to the Vi though. So now we are going to go ahead and try to chase the Sivir, but Sivir has ult on, so we're not gonna be able to actually get her. So we're just gonna get a minion wave instead. And now we're gonna back because Elder Dragon is spawning in a couple of seconds. So we want to reset, get our items, you know, if we can, and then go to Elder Dragon. So in this match, you can see that the main problem here is generally going to be Syndra and Kennen. Now Kennen is really the main problem here. Syndra is a secondary problem. And although Xin Zhao is a problem, we haven't really been having trouble, you know, surviving him. So what we're actually going for is we're going for a Maw as the last item to get the magic resist, and also it gives us AD as well. So really nice stats here. Blitzcrank is face checking into the pit, and we're just free firing on him. We're gonna launch our ult down, and we actually finish him off with the ult. Kennen gets super chunked, but one shots me 100 to 0. Now I swear I was mashing my stasis, but the stun combo he did was so fast that I couldn't even stasis. Like he basically ult QW me instantly, and I got stunned, so I die there, which is really bad. But the good news is that my team is winning the rest of the fight. Syndra's dead, Kennen's dead as well, and Sivir is on death's door, so she's not participating in the fight. Now Xin Zhao is dead, so only Sivir is left alive, and this should mean a free Elder Dragon for my team. And a free Elder Dragon should mean a free Baron, and Elder plus Baron should mean a free win for my team, hopefully. So here my team is doing the Elder. Only person who could contest is obviously going to be Sivir. Sivir is actually kind of trying because he's walking towards here, but Zyra is just zoning her out, and there's nothing much she can really do. We secure the Elder like 2 seconds from when I spawned, so I don't have the Elder buff, unfortunately. So that was pretty sad. But anyways, now with the Elder, we can go straight to Baron, and we should be able to, you know, just just, you know, get the Baron and probably push for a win maybe. But of course, while my team is busy resetting, I'm just gonna pick up the red buff, and I'm gonna actually reset as well because I can complete my Maw, and Maw is really important for fights, obviously, because I don't want to get bursted down by Kennen. Speaking of bursting down, Kennen is trying to fight Leona, but Leona is too tanky for him. She has MR, so she's not really going down. And now we're headed over to the pit, and Vi is super duper overextended. I have no idea what Vi is doing, but here a nice catch onto Sivir by the Leona ulti, and I'm just gonna ult and finish her off instantly. Zinja tries to jump in. He has his ult on, so I'm gonna walk into range again. Kennen tries to go in with the ulti, but I stasis the ulti again. I blocked like at least three Kennen ultis from stasis, but I've also got one shot by Kennen like at least twice. Regardless, we don't actually need the Baron, because now with the Elder and the fact that only Blitzcrank is left alive, we can easily end the game because Blitzcrank can't clear waves. So we're just gonna quickly auto attack down all of the minions, auto attack down the tower as well, and then we can move on to auto attacking the base. But before that, one last kill onto Blitzcrank, and then we can finish off the game. So with all that out of the way, I'll leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.